I've been debating on doing this for quite some time. And well, I decided I'm going to, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to get lambasted for it. And most likely within minutes, this is going to get cranked up and taken down by YouTube because somebody's going to report it or someone's going to take offense or someone's going to get the wrong idea. But this is just my perspective and my opinion, as you might say, and everybody is entitled to opinion, whether it's right or wrong or you agree with it or not. But I have to talk about abortion and abortion rights from the guy's side that nobody ever considers. Okay. First off, I want to start by saying I don't agree with it at all with abortion. However, I also don't agree that anybody should be able to dictate to you what you can and cannot do to your body at any time in your life, really. So this is where I have a real conundrum. I am not going to tell a woman what she can and cannot do, but at the same time, I don't agree with it and I don't believe in it. And you can be that way. You cannot agree with one thing, but you can't really do anything about it because you are forced by your own belief and code already to not interfere in somebody else's right, which is something a lot of people don't seem to understand these days. Where it comes is it comes with this. There's been a lot of shit ever since, Roe v. Wade got struck down by the Supreme Court and everything got kicked back to the states for the states to decide. It wasn't that they outlawed abortion. They kicked it back to the states and made it a state decision. Some states pretty much outlawed 100%. Some states have a term limit, which normally with most places, even around the world, is considered within the first trimester, the first 90 days. Now, here is where I have an issue, okay? You're with somebody and they get pregnant. And you get excited, but she doesn't want to be a mother. Well, you can't force her to carry that child to term. There's no way. You can't do it. That would be a massive violation of somebody's human rights because you would essentially have to imprison them just because they had gotten pregnant. And that would not be right at all. On the other hand, they decide they're going to get rid of it. Okay. That's their decision within reason as much as I don't agree with it. But the guy wanted the child, but gets no say in the matter. Okay, fine. But here's the other side of that coin. The guy doesn't want the child, doesn't want to be a father, wants nothing to do with it. But the woman decides she's going to have that child. The father gets no say in the matter. And the woman has the child. Now the father has to own up and support and look after and pay for that child for the rest of their life, even though they didn't want one. If the woman doesn't want to have the child, she just goes and gets rid of it. But if she decides she wants it, the guy is on the hook. So no matter what, the guy gets no choice in the matter, does not get any inclusion in the decision-making process unless they're actually a reasonable couple that sit down and talk about what they're going to do and come up with an option. So I always used to give that great thought. And I thought, well, what if you balanced it out and made that completely equal? Whereas, if wherever you are, the law states that whether it's within the first trimester or within the first 120 days or whatever the time frame is that they're allowed to have that abortion, that up until that same timeline where the woman can have the abortion if she so chooses to, the man, if he really doesn't want to be a father, can go and pre-sign away any rights to that child and say, it's not mine, don't want nothing to do with it, and walk away. And I know people are going to be like, well, that ain't fair. The woman shouldn't have to raise the child by herself. No, but you got to have some sort of equality in the law. That kind of balances the scales. And I know this is going to be massively controversial. And people are going to hate on it and nobody's going to agree and everyone's going to get really peeved about it. But I mean, really, if you want to have law, everybody wants the law to be equal and equally applied. Okay, this is the one place where the law is not equally applied. In fact, when it comes to this stuff, the law is never equally applied. You watch it when, watch a lot of court cases for child support, right? The guy's behind, he doesn't have a job, he fell behind, and the court's like, no excuse, you're in contempt, it's another fine. If you're in contempt again, you're going to jail, there's no excuse, you should be able to have a job. If the woman is ordered to pay child support and she is behind, what they do is they say, we know it's hard, we're going to give you some more time, we'll lower the payments for payback, and we're going to hook you up with these agencies that are going to help you get a job. There is no balance when it comes to the fact, anything, when it comes to the point of parenting and parental responsibility, the man never has a choice. You have to bone up all the time. You don't get a decision. You have no right to say anything other than the fact that you got to knuckle down and take care of your responsibilities, even though other people are allowed to make excuses and walk away. I know this is kind of taking on another aspect here, but that's how it flows sometimes. So I figure, why not? If you really want to equal the equation out. Now, the whole idea in the morality and the legality of abortion or no abortion, or it should be legal or it shouldn't be legal, what I believe and how I truly feel plays no part in the laws that are being made. So I have to balance out what I believe to also what I believe is absolutely right as well. I absolutely do not believe in abortion and am against it. There are cases where, yes, you could make a case, and I get it, and that is fine. There always is that, you can make an argument, like, a woman that was impregnated against their will. You know where I'm going with that. Or, when it's too close a family and stuff like that, right? You can make an argument, and I'm not going to say no way, no how. But I will say, even though I don't believe in abortion, I don't believe that a government at any level should be allowed to tell you what you can and cannot do, especially when it comes to yourself. Right? I mean, you don't let the government make decisions, but at the same time, sometimes you gotta have a line within reason. Because there's always that argument about when is the baby an actual separate being in a life, and right. So I'm not getting into that. I'm just getting into the idea that, hey, if you want to make it equal, leave an out for them douchebag guys that want an out, but they can never come crawling back. Like, this is not something that can be undone later. This is not something where they can ever look anything up later. They will be completely erased from that person's life. As far as they're concerned, and that child grows up, that father never existed. They have no right to come back later and try and find or make contact or say, I'm sorry. No, it's a final decision. Just the same as if you go through with an abortion is a final decision. But it would allow for some equality in the law. At least on that side when it comes to the baby coming to term. Right? Then but when it comes to getting rid of it, there's nothing you can do. So guys, all I got to say is, hey, don't go messing around with women that are not that just want to play and have fun and go out and club. You're a young guy and you meet a girl and you go out with this. Don't be going out and getting your dinky stinky just because you want to. All right, because you'll wind up in that situation and you're not going to have a choice, because once it's done, no matter what you think you're doing to prevent it, nothing is 100% except keeping it in your damn pants. So don't put yourself in that situation by dipping it in a sewer trap, Because most of the ones that you would go out like that and do that stuff, right, you don't want anything to do with them anyway. So don't go knocking up women that you aren't going to have an actual relationship with and that don't want kids. Times are changing, man. Big time. It's nasty. But I'm going to stop there before I go on too much of a rant, because I know this is not going to be popular. Nobody's going to like it. And I get it. I didn't do this one for people to watch. I did this for myself. I made this one for myself because it has to be said. I just had to say it. It's been bugging me for months and months and months and years. And it's not something you can ever talk to people about because they just won't consider it. Nobody will sit down when it comes to anything like that and listen to a guy's side. So I did this video for myself. So that's it. This is the video. It's uncut. I'm not editing anything. It's just straight up. These are my thoughts and bammo. So anyway, until next time, this is Drac saying, stay safe, everybody. Be responsible. I'll see y'all later. Peace.